Good morning. Hope everyone had a great weekend. And we're going to start on our back today. So go ahead and also if you want to something for stretching like a yoga belt, go ahead and just grab something. And if you want to put down a blanket or something. Sorry, just trying to make sure my video is working. All right, I've got my chat open if you got any technical issues. And otherwise, just come to your back and we will just get comfortable and we'll start to take big, deep breaths into the belly. So just laying down, supine position. Just get comfortable, big breath into the belly. Release. Close the eyes and let everything go. Just let anything that's on your mind, all your to-do list, just release. Let everything melt down into the mat. Breathe again into the belly. Nice deep breath. Expanding, opening, create space in the belly. Exhale again, just melting into the mat. Release. And from here, starting that Ujjayi breathing. So from the belly, inhaling, expanding through all four corners of the rib cage. And inhaling, expanding the lungs, the chest. You can bring one hand to the chest, one hand to the belly if you like to feel that breath, filling up both your belly and your chest, feeling that breath rise. And then exhaling from the top of your head down to your tailbone. Just continue with those breaths. We're inhaling, expanding the belly, expanding that ribcage to all four corners. The belly goes up towards the ceiling, and then inhale, expand the chest, expand the lungs. Exhale, empty the lungs, empty the chest, draw that navel in, empty the belly, and start that round of breath, that wave of breath. It's starting from the tailbone, from the belly, and rising up to the crown of the head. Let's take a few more breaths here. Inhaling, creating space in your belly and your chest. Exhale, just emptying the chest and the belly still. Just one more. Nice long Ujjayi breath. Just exhaling one more time, letting everything go, releasing, exhale. Just letting everything go of all of our stressors, everything we're just thinking about. Just exhale, release. And just take your breath back to normal, deep, even breaths. Soften, keep your face soft, make sure you're not holding any tension in your face. And the next inhalation, we're going to Gently open the eyes and just blink a few times. And then take your awareness to your breath again. And that belly button should be rising up towards the ceiling, and then drawing that into the navel as you exhale. Following the breath. And from here, to roll our head, just rolling from ear to ear. So rolling over to the right side of the head and then rolling to the left, just kind of softening through the neck. Taking your awareness to that area. How's your neck feeling? And just coming back, gently gaze at the ceiling. Let the tongue be loose in the mouth. Next, we're going to press the elbows and the shoulders, the arms into the mat and feel that opening of the chest, that stretching of the skin across the chest. Short breath and release. And then go ahead, bring those ankles over towards the right side of the mat. You can cross or keep it together, scooching over those shoulders. Take that banana shape. So as gentle or kind of intensely as you like. That stretch to the left side of the body. Just open up, creating space all along the left side of the body, from the ankle to the fingertips. Reaching to the fingertips, from pressing that left ankle, feel the opening and stretching to the hip, up to the torso, the shoulder. Breathe. Nice deep breaths. If you have a kind of tight area, breathe into that area and release in the inhalation. You can always move everything back to center if this is a little bit too intense of a stretch. Finding a spot that feels the best. Just keeping our gaze soft towards the ceiling. One more nice long breath here. And release for coming back to center. And next coming to the other side. Reaching with the fingertips and ankles together across. Making that banana shape on the mat, crescent shape. Breathe into those tight areas, breathe into the belly, just following the breath. And release from softly come back to center. And bend the knees. And really pressing down with those feet into the mat. And open up those toes, kind of grip the mat with the toes. And we're going to tilt that pelvis just a few times, going back and forth. And just kind of opening up the spine that way, and then also when we have that pelvis tilted forward, that's definitely not how we want to stay when we're in a lot of poses of our backs. We're really going to have the pelvis tilted in towards you is where you want to be when you're doing a lot of poses. So we're just pressing that lower back in, so you can feel the difference here. Pelvis tilting forward and back, and then pull that navel in, press that lower back into the mat. We're going to pull those knees into the chest and then rock them side to side. Massaging the back. And shoot the knees down and up. Bring that nose to leave the knees low. Ball forward the middle of the ball, engaging the core and release. Take the knees in a circular motion, clockwise. And that massage along those different parts of the back. And opposite direction. And pull those knees down up. We're going to release that left foot that comes down. Almost feel like we're pulling that left knee, ankle, heel in towards the body. Pulling this knee down and up towards the chin. And then release, lengthen this right leg. Grabbing here or here. You always have a bend. You just want to press through that heel. You grab something as a yoga strap. If you like using yoga straps, you can just keep them around with your mat that you can kind of use. Like an old stretchy t-shirt I really like if I don't have a yoga strap. Anything works. And press that heel. Just one more time. I'm lengthening. Feel that opening along the back of the leg. And slowly bring that knee into the armpit. You're going to take the half happy baby. And just more gentle kind of version. We'll have happy baby. Really softening to those hip flexors. And releasing that ankle to the knee. You're going to press that right knee away from the body. Make sure that lower back is pressed into the mat. You can stay here, or there is an option of grabbing that back of that left hamstring and pressing, keeping this foot flexed, both feet are flexed, pressing that right knee away from the body. Let's breathe into that right hamstring. This area can get really tight, so it's actually really important to stretch this area. This is one of the best stretches for it. This, and you can also sit on the edge of the chair or the bed and just have your leg across your knee and kind of almost bend forward along with the long spine. It's just a really, really good stretch. And my physical therapist just told me it was the best one. So if you feel tight along the outside of your leg, I would do that a few times a day. Just a few more breaths. And release. From here, we're gonna bring up that leg. Notice if it feels any different this time. Point and flex. Roll out that ankle. We're still pressing through all four corners of this left foot, this knee up towards the ceiling. And we're gonna just take that out to the side. It doesn't have to come very far. Maybe it's all the way down. Sorry, let me show you the end and all of my foot, or the sole of my foot. You can also use some sort of yoga strap here. So just bringing this out. I'm just holding it here. Just want to feel that opening. And keep that lower back attached to the mat. Press into that heel. And inhale up. All right, just straighten that left leg and bring this leg across the body. So just hold it with your arm. Use your yoga strap or whatever you might be using. Actually, this is fine. This is a lot easier to do with something, but you can also just bring this hand up here and just hold this leg up and bring this arm out. Go ahead and bend the knee. And you could bring that down and then bend the other knee and bring the knees together and take a spinal twist here. Go ahead, cactus those arms, just keep them as he, and that opening through the side of the body to the hip. Try to keep both those shoulders touch the mat. And make sure your breath is nice and even. Deep into the belly. If you want to make this a more gentle twist, just move those hips back towards the center. And release. Pull that knee back in, come back up. Knees up. And we'll just let that knee fall to the side, half Baddha Konasana for that softening, that softness through that right hip flexor. We're going to lengthen this leg, reach up, stick a tree on the mat for a breath or two. Just feeling the length of the body, the spine, letting that leg just flop out to the side. And release, bend this left knee. We're going to bring up that right knee to meet that left knee. Bring those arms down to the sides, and we're going to bring those feet hips width apart and come into a bridge pose. So we're going to inhale up those hips, working with the back of the body, engaging those hamstrings, glutes, the arms, the biceps, triceps, palms pressing into the mat. Next inhalation takes those hip points just a little closer to the ceiling. Press off the palms of the feet. And release. And pull those knees in. We'll just rock from side to side. Soften. You guys take this knee circle. So we're just going to massage the back a little bit. And release. Let those feet come down. Bring this left knee down and up towards the face. Soften to that hip crease. Press down to that right foot. Almost to that sensation of pulling that heel in, right heel in towards the body, keeping this knee up to the ceiling. Soften. And we go ahead and lengthen, pressing through that heel up to the ceiling. You can grab here, or grab your yoga strap. The right ball of the foot, lengthening, softening to the back of that left leg. One more breath here on the exhalation, pressing that heel up towards the ceiling. And go ahead and bring that knee in towards that armpit, taking that half happy baby. Just here, maybe you're holding out to the foot and bring that armpit all and the knee all the way into the armpit. Softening through that hip flexor. And then release, bring that ankle to that knee. We're pressing that left knee away from the body. Pressing that low back into the mat. This foot flex, and we just stay here for the option, grabbing back of that right hamstring. And both feet flexed. And breathe. Breathe into the hip. To the outside of that left leg. Noticing if there's any tightness, softening on the exhalation. Nice, long, easy, deep breaths into the belly. Taking that awareness to the breath. And softly bring this left foot down. Bring this right foot up again. Go ahead and just point and flex. Let's take some circles with the wrist, ankle. And then we're going to go ahead and bring that leg out to the side. Bring this hand out. And then put that elbow down, just use it as a little support. So keeping this right knee up. Try to keep both the hips attached to the mat. Using a yoga strap or something like that. Press that palm and press it up. Oh, I started mixing feet and hands this morning. So feeling that opening to that left leg, really pressing active for the whole leg, really actively pressing down to that right foot. It might just be here. You don't have to come out that far. Just want to feel that opening. And inhale back up for a minute. Lengthen that leg and bring that leg across the body. Try to keep both those shoulders on the mat. It's okay if the left one comes up a little bit. It's not the end of the world. Breathe. And go ahead and bend that knee. You can stay here for a spinal twist. You have the option of bringing the knees together. And this left arm out. You can actually T your cactus or just keep your hand on your knee. Keep this right leg long. So anything that helps you kind of release into that spinal stretch. And breathing. Where's your breath? Return to your breath. The wondrous way is always coming back to the breath. And go ahead and release. Bring those knees back up, and we'll just lengthen, or just soften, let that left knee just fall back to the side for half Baddha Konasana. Just find that softness through that hip flexor. It should feel a little different. You know, just notice it a little more malleable, a little warmed up. And lengthening through that right leg, taking that tree on the floor, pressing to that heel, and bringing those arms up above the head. Trying to keep that connection to that low back, to the mat. Just one more breath here. And release. Bend that right knee, bring this left knee up. Bring these feet about just towards the edges of the mat, well higher, wider than hip width. Go ahead and rock those knees from side to side. Not as fast or slow as you like. So just feeling that softness of that low back, that opening, that movement, creating enough heat. And that low back, breathing into any areas that still feel a little tight. And then notice just the parts to the back that are being massaged. And Kind of roll across that part. Find a little part that needs extra attention. Just stay there, kind of rolling back and forth over that spot. And just continue for a few more, just kind of window washes with the knees. You can really exaggerate this movement too, really pressing forward with those hips, feeling that kind of opening all the way through the front of the quad. We're just taking it in more gentle versions, whatever feels the best to you this morning. Just listening to your body. And bringing those feet together apart. We're going to inhale this right leg. And then we're going to inhale up the left leg. So we want those legs almost straight up the wall, which is where you're probably really going to want something that you just wrap around your feet. And press into. You don't have to have anything that you use as a yoga strap. You can just stay your arms at your sides. It's nice for this one to really be able to press into something. It makes you feel more of an opening in the back of the legs. We're just actually, if you can do this for a couple of minutes a day, but have your hip up against the wall, just really good for tired legs, elevating those legs. Maybe 5 minutes a day, just be really helpful in a lot of ways. It just feels really good. And release, pull those knees in towards the chest. And roll just side to side and then cross those ankles. Go ahead and grab the backs of the hamstrings a little slowly, really slowly, just taking it really easy. I'm going to roll up to seated position. Once we're here, you can sit on something, blanket, and a towel. Especially if you feel like it's helping you create length in your spine. Just take your time and kind of come into a seated position. We're inhaling through that sternum, feeling that attachment to the mat. Inhale, lengthen through the back of the neck and then up through the crown of the head. And those shoulders just mount away from the ears. Let the shoulders just let them go. They feel heavy. Inhale, lengthen. We're lifting the neck, so bring that right ear down to that right shoulder. And softening. Reach out to those left fingertips. Add the right hand if you like. Just gentle at the neck. We're just softening, lengthening to this left side of the neck. Breathe. Soften to the face. Soften to the neck. And release. Inhale up. Inhale up those arms. Look at those fingertips. Come to a V. Pull those elbows down once. Just feel that opening in the front of the shoulders. Inhale back up. Softly bring those hands to the back of the neck, head. And then let that chin come in towards the chest. Just letting the weight of the hands kind of lengthen. Just no pulling, no like cranking the neck. Just kind of gently lengthening and bringing that chin towards the chest. Always gentle with the neck. Never doing anything where you feel any pinching or discomfort, pain. Always be mindful. And release. Inhale up. Exhale, left ear comes down. Let's reach those right fingertips. Add this as an option, but just keep your hand on your knee. Feel that opening from the shoulder all the way up to the ear, the crown of the head. And we're breathing, we're still lifting to the sternum. And a nice long spine. And release. Inhale up. Bring those hands to the knees. You can just softly leave them here to mudra if you'd like. And then close the eyes. We're just going to do a few neck circles. So drawing a kind of clockwise circle at the tip of the nose. In there, slowly, slowly, very gently. Just feeling every single muscle open and lengthening. Going slowly enough to just notice the different muscles. But attach your head to your neck, to your shoulders, to your chest. Just feel those muscles softening, opening, and opening. It should feel really good, the stretch. Especially if you hold any tension in your shoulders. Letting it go. Still taking that nice slow neck roll. And then switching directions. Think clockwise and counterclockwise circles. Close your eyes if they're not closed. Just taking your awareness, your mind's eye to the muscles again that are attached in your neck, to your head, to the rest of your body that do so much work all day. People really tend to hold their head just a little bit forward, and it tends to put a lot of pressure on the neck and shoulders. So really be mindful to the day. Noticing how, where is your neck, is your head, is it right over your shoulders, or you're moving it forward and then making those muscles do like a lot of work. A lot of people hold their cell phone and they'll hold it like a foot almost below their head, and I see them like looking down at their phone, and sometimes they'll grab somebody's hand and just pull it up in front of their face so that they're not just stuck in this position where they're just letting all those muscles do that work. Usually people I know, not strangers. When I notice people doing that, and I try to make an adjustment and change directions. Sorry, I hope you're still being able to be mindful about those muscles in your neck. They're trying to soften. Maybe I should be going clockwise. Maybe go just a tiny bit faster, and counterclockwise just a few more of these. Just opening, softening. And release. Lift to the crown of the head. Exhale, let those shoulders just ease away from the ears. They're just kind of feeling a little heavier. Press those forward. Scrunch them up by your ears. Press them back. Bring those shoulders up together and let them round back, drop. Inhale, lengthen through the sternum and the crown of the head, and then exhale. Let those shoulders melt away from the ears again. Inhale, lift to the crown of the head, that imaginary string is pulling. And then exhale, come forward. Nice long spine, just bring those hands in front of you. So now hunching, just feeling that stretch in the hip flexors and the hips, feel rhythm in the hips. And you can come all the way here, or just stay here. Smoke those hands out, reach those fingertips. You can come down your elbows if you were feeling really flexible today. Walk those hands over to the right. reach back up, almost pulling that hip back. Imagine pulling that femur into that socket. And then opening to that left side. Lengthen to the back of the neck. The nose comes down towards the floor. Breathe. What is your breath doing? Return to the breath. Hips still heavy. And back to center. Move those hands out just a little bit. Nose down towards the floor. And move those hands over to the left, reaching to that right fingertips. Breathe. Hips feel heavy. Notice where your hips and your ankles, everything's attached to the mat, that foundation. And then lengthening through the sternum, through the top of the head. Hips still nice and heavy. Return back to center. One last breath here. And walk those hands back in. Inhale and just reach those arms up, and just get that motion attached to the breath. Inhaling up and then exhaling, bring those hands under our center. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, right hand down and lift it and come over. You come down all the way in the elbow. All the way to the elbow if your left hip is still attached to the mat or just staying here. Nice length to that left side of the body. Feel those spurs floating apart. Inhale up and then come down to the other side. Reaching to that right hand. Let that right hip feel heavy attached to the mat. Soften to the face. You're holding any tension in your face. Just release. Softening that gaze just past that nose a few inches. Inhale up. Exhale, come down. Right side again. And we're going to spin open. Pull that thumb towards the back to get gaze up towards the ceiling. Pull that heart open. That's the chest open. Feel that like skin off, just the stretching through the chest. We keep that thumb kind of towards the back of the room. And then releasing, bring this hand down, slide this right hand behind, and inhale into the sternum. Exhale, take that gaze towards the back of the room. Letting that core do all the work. Pull that navel in. Lengthen, inhale, feel those vertebrae just lengthening. Exhale, that nose comes towards the back of the room, just a little further. And releasing softly, unwind, inhale up. And that motion of the breath attached, then reach over, left hand down, spin open. And feeling the heart open towards the ceiling. And reaching down, slide those hands back, we're coming to that spinal stretch on the other side, lifting to the chest, and the crown of the head, exhale, take that gaze towards the back of the room. Breathe. Inhale, full space, grow between the vertebrae on the inhalation, the exhalation, that gaze, just coming a little further towards the back of the room. Just feeling all that movement and that stretching come from the core. Never cranking ourselves into the position. The hands are just there to guide and help you into that spinal twist. Let's take one more breath there, just release, lengthening. crown of the head. Exhale, draw that navel in, just bring that gaze back one more time. You're softly unwind. And here, inhaling up again. Drop that right hand, lift to that right elbow. Just bring that right hand in the middle of the back. Lift from the hip all the way up to the top of the elbow. Release, bring that arm across the body. Just bring that left arm as a hook. Just pull that in towards the chest. Nice soft breath. And from here, we're going to come into, I'll bring this right elbow and it's going to just nest inside this left elbow. So bring the arms in front of you and you can wrap all the way around. Eagle arms, so just stay here. That's all a really good stretch for your shoulder, no matter kind of what version you're taking. Just drawing those shoulders down away from the ears. Lengthen to the back of the neck. We're just bringing that chin towards the chest just a little bit. And go ahead and release. We'll shake out the arms a little bit. That should feel really good in your shoulders. It shouldn't be any pain. We're lifting, reaching, dropping that left hand, grab that left elbow, reach from the hip to the elbow. And release. We bring that arm across the body and just hook that with the right arm. Bring that opening that through that back of the shoulder. And bring that elbow to nest inside that other elbow. Staying here, wrap those arms all the way around. Eagle arms. Length into the back of the neck. Softening through the shoulders. Still lifting to the sternum, keeping nice and long spine. Oh, we have a visitor. Shoulder likes to appear regularly in these classes. Go ahead and release. Bring those hands up to the leg, just kind of bring them out back, and we're going to bring those legs right in front and just a couple times, just window wash those legs for that, bringing the hips. And then from here, bring those legs out in front. We're going to take a deeper and kind of intense hip stretch. And if this is too much, you know, you can just take that stance, like a really long stance. So we're lifting up the hips, bring that ankle to that knee, coming down, and then finding where you are comfortable with bring that knee away from the body. So keeping this right foot flexed, this left foot's really attached to the mat, and then you can even work those arms in if you want a more intense stretch to that hip. It's a place where you're having to hold a lot of tension, so it's really good to regularly stretch this area. Sometimes it'll just get tight, and all of a sudden you realize you have a really hard time doing those figure four positions where you just feel a lot of tightness. Just an area that's it's good to be mindful of it. Another breath here. Breathing into any tight areas, release on the exhalation, soften to the face. And go ahead and release. Just window wash a few times from side to side. And then we're going to lift up those hips again, bring this other ankle up, and then find the distance between the feet and the hands. that suits you, that helps you release that hip. And this foot flexed. Just spreading out those fingers, protect those wrists. Return your breath. Lift through the sternum. And release. Go ahead and come to tabletop position. Let's take a few cat cows. So inhaling, and taking those shoulders back, gaze forward, pressing to the tops of the feet. Then exhale, rounding the spine, draw that navel in. Inhale back to cow. Exhale, cat. Rounding, taking the tailbone. Just one more inhalation, cow. You drop the jaw here. Loosen through that jaw. And exhale, draw that navel in, tuck the navel in, tuck the tailbone, the chin, around the shoulders. And release, come back to your neutral position. And then from here, we're just going to tuck those toes and come into a downward facing dog. Go ahead and start to walk the dog. That should feel kind of already a little bit open and soft, the backs of the legs. Just pedal off the feet. Spread out those fingers. We're mindful of our wrists, our hands, palms. Press those heels. Draw the navel in. Nice deep even breath. And walk those hands up to the top. Walk those feet up. I'm just going to softly bring this left leg down. Knee comes down. And then let those hips fall forward. Inhale up. Engaging that core. And then you can always just have your hands on your hips on top of your knee. Just here for one more breath. And if we're here, we're going to go ahead and just softly paint the front. And just come into a runner stretch. Right foot, toes up to the ceiling, soften to the back of that knee. So we're taking a nice long spine, hinging at the hips. It doesn't have to be super straight, but just never, not like hunching over too much. Just kind of being mindful that we're gonna lift and through the sternum, pulling that forward, and the heart towards the foot. And release as those hips come forward. Tuck those toes. We're going to come into a pyramid pose just for a breath. Press through those feet. Feet are hip width apart. Just split that mat apart. And then softly bring that left foot to meet this right foot. I'm going to step back with that right foot. Coming from that lunge and then down into low lunge. Pressing through all four corners of this foot. Remember, reach up. And staying here, just let those hips fall forward, soften. Reach up. Paint the wall in front of us, and then softly come back into a runner stretch. Those toes come up, making the micro little adjustments you need to, keeping this left hip over this left knee. Use blocks or like whatever you have. Really big books. If you'd like to help with lengthening your spine, this kind of makes it a little easier on your low back. And then release of the hips coming forward. Softening and then tucking those toes coming into that pyramid pose on this side. So pressing for those feet where it's strong through those like sucking up the kneecaps. One more breath here. Just engaging every muscle in the leg, drawing the navel in. And then from here, we're going to bring this left foot into the right foot. So just press down to the hands and then bring this left foot back, coming into downward facing dog. Just a breath here. Just bring out those fingers. Just pressing into the heels. And softly bringing those knees down. Press to the tops of the feet. And inhale up. Bring those thumbs in just here. Elbows back. I'm just going to open up the chest just for a breath. And release. And then come to seated position for your right hand. Legs out in front of you. Dandasana, press of the arms, press of the legs, doing a lot of work here. So really drawing that navel in, lifting through the sternum, pressing those heels, sucking up kneecaps. It might not look like it, but you're doing, I mean, it's still a lot of work. It's work. Inhale up, and hinge of the hips, come forward. Grab the shins, ankles, or the feet. Drawing that chest forward. And release. Bend those knees. And just for 1 or 2 breaths, we're going to come to boat pose, reaching forward. And release. Grab the backs of those hamstrings, and we're going to roll back. Let's pull those knees down and up for 1 breath. And then release. Take that body long. For Shavasana. So grabbing whatever you need. Just lengthen that body. Let those feet flop out to the sides. Open up those palms to the ceiling. And taking a big breath into the belly. Release. So everything melts down to the mat. Just take a moment to thank yourself for taking the time to do self-care, for taking care of your body. Doing good things for it. Soften the eyes, start to follow the breath. Release through the cheeks and the jaw. Breathing in relaxation. Exhale, release the muscles. Everything softens and widens into the mat. Let the tongue be loose in the mouth. On the next exhalation, the shoulders melt. Let go. Any tension in those shoulders muscles just evaporate. Shoulders melt, soften into the mat. Arms and shoulders down to the elbows, down to the palms and fingertips. Soften and widen. Arms feel heavy. And from the top of the shoulders, suppose melt a little bit more to the mat, to soften all the way down to the low back. The low back and the hips melt and widen. The hamstrings soften, the back of the knees release. Those calf muscles just widen and soften and melt. Through the ankles, the feet, the toes, everything relaxes, releases. Still taking nice, long, easy breaths. Breathing in relaxation. The exhalation is releasing, softening, melting down into the mat. Just a tiny bit more with every breath. Slowly start to bring your awareness back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Just rock your head from side to side. Big breath. Bend your knees. Gently roll to the right side of your body. Press yourself up to a seated position. Slowly and gently taking your time. Bring your hands to heart center. And the next inhalation, just gently open the eyes. Blink a few times. Namaste. So thank you everyone for joining me this morning. I hope you're enjoying the weather. I'm very happy that the cold snap was over. Some of my plants survived, some didn't seem to. That's all right. And just hope you have a great rest of your day and see you on Wednesday. And yeah, just be in touch if you have any questions, comments, or anything. All right. Hope to see you Wednesday.